Welcome back. In the previous class, we discussed the concept of inverse rule. And before we begin to discuss about this rule further, I would like to wish you a happy new year and a happy resumption. Today's Monday, most of you are getting back to school, and it's a mark of new beginning. I wish you success in your academic section. So now, inverse rule, we said that it is a principle that tells us that for everything that exists, there is an inverse, which is opposite that can eliminate it, right? Good. But this rule, we need to show you some magic, how the rule works, so that you will be able to understand the importance of the rule. And to let you see this, let's begin. Now, we want to start with a basic application. But before that, you must understand that there is an hierarchy in mathematics. This hierarchy is called hierarchy of equation. This is the highest hierarchy. That is, equation is the highest hierarchy in mathematics. But before equation, there are some things that came first. So the first thing is a single number. The next thing is combination of two or more numbers to form an expression. And the last one is combination of two expressions with with equal sign to form an equation. So to see this, let us see. Let's assume that we have a number A. This A can be any number. Are you getting me? It can be any number. This number is so simple as a single entity that exists in the universe. But it doesn't make sense if there is only one entity in the universe. So to make universe interesting, so we started combining things with this single number. And by virtue of mathematics, there are 4 possible numbers that can surround this number to make it more complex. The first number is coefficient number that multiply it. If we want to remove this coefficient number, the sign of the coefficient number is multiplication. The inverse is division. That is going to be what? Divided by y. So the y will be removed. So the next number is index number or exponent number. This number can also be removed by its inverse. The inverse of this number is 1 over x. But it has to remain at power level. Because you know that x is divided by 1, because every number is divided by 1, multiplied by 1, and raised to power 1. So automatically, this number is divided by 1. And its inverse is going to be what? The inverse is going to be 1 over x. So this sign is multiplication. Are you getting me? So the inverse of this number is this number. So if this inverse combined with this number is going to remove the x that is there. So this is index. This is inverse of power of x. Since we are dealing with power, everything that you are going to be doing will remain at power level. That's the reason why whenever you are writing anything in mathematics, please be very, very careful so that your examiner will know exactly what you are writing. The third number is divisor, the number that divides it. So this divisor, its sign is division, then its opposite is going to be multiplication. So to remove this z is going to be what? Everything here multiplied by what? Z. So what happened? Z will cancel c. It will remain only a there. And the last one, we call it addition or subtraction, increment or decrement. It is the number that increase this value of a or increase the value of a. And the number is this. It can be plus or minus p. P can be any number. Are you getting me? So everything that you see here is called an expression. It's called an expression. To become an equation, what we do is that we bring equal sign into it and add another expression to the right. So an equation has two sides, the left hand side and the right hand side. That is the reason why we say that one side is opposite of the other side in an equation. Because of the word opposite, this is where inverse comes in. That is the reason why if you are removing a number from one side to other side, the sign of that number will change to opposite sign. Let's assume that you want to remove this p. If it will come to this place, it will now be what? Minus or plus p. That is to say, this plus will change to minus, this minus will change to plus. And if you want this particular number here, raised to power s, to come to this place, is to become raised to power 1 over x. 1 by x. Anyhow you want to say it. So this is everything about inverse rule and its application. In the next class, we will be looking at how to solve real life equation that has to do with subject of formula. When we are talking about subject of formula, let's say for this particular equation, you are to make A the subject of formula. What are you going to do? You are going to know the order by which every number that surrounds A is to be removed. Listen, whenever you want to solve problem that has to do with subject of formula, there will be a particular letter that they will reference that you should make the subject of formula, identify that number, then identify everything that surrounds that number, then remove them one by one. If that number can be isolated alone, it has been made the subject of formula. To remove this, to make A the subject of formula in this place, the first thing that you have to remove is increment and decrement value. Every number that carry positive and negative sign, you are going to remove them at the same time. There is no order of removing plus or minus. Just remove them, whether it is plus or minus. Anyone you take first goes. So that is to say, this one will come here first. It will become minus or plus p. What is next? You can remove coefficient and dividend. They have equal precedence. So there is no precedence hierarchy between them. There is no precedent order between them. So they have equal precedence. You can remove y first. You can remove z first. If you remove y first, so everything will be divided by y. If you remove z first, everything in this place will be multiplied by z. So if you want to remove that particular x, so that is why that is when everything will now be square root of x. Don't worry, it is a magic right now, but in the next class we are going to demystify it. You are going to see how to interpret it and what is the meaning of this power and how to interpret root as well. Thank you for listening. Please, if you are watching our YouTube, subscribe. If you are watching our Facebook, please follow. If you are watching our TikTok, follow as well. A B P.